Everyone, welcome to our next video on advanced mathematics of class 10, and today we are going to continue with our exercise 4.1 of quadratic equations. So without wasting any time, let's get started. We had completed up to question number 4, so we are starting with question 5, and question 5 contains the heading that under what condition. So number 1 is under what condition this equation and this equation will have a common root. So let us assume one common root. So let alpha be a common root. So since alpha is the common root, so I can place alpha in place of the x in both the equations since it is a common root for both. So if on putting alpha in both these cases, what do I get? Therefore, the equations that I will get are 3 alpha squared alpha plus 4m into alpha plus 2 equal to 0, and second equation will be twice alpha squared plus thrice alpha minus 2 will be equal to 0. So I have two equations, number 1 and 2. I need to find the condition at which these two equations will have a common root, which I have taken as alpha. So now by doing cross multiplication, I can find, cross multiplication is one of the methods. You can apply any other method like substitution or elimination or anything like this, but I think cross multiplication will be easier in this case. So by applying cross multiplication, let's see what do we get. By cross multiplication, what do we get? For the first one, we will have alpha squared, second one will have alpha, and third we will have 1. Please make sure that your cross multiplication method is clear, because in this video I am not going to explain how to do cross multiplication. So if your concept is not clear, then go back and clear the concept of cross multiplication and then come back and watch this video. Okay. So for alpha squared, we will have 4m and 2. So 4m and minus 2 minus 3 and 2. 3 and 2. For alpha, we will have 2 and 2. 2, 2 minus 3 and minus 2. So 3 and minus 2. For 1, we will have 3, 3. 3 into 3 minus 2 into 4m. 2 into 4m. So here m is not the root. So m is not a part of the variable. M is a part of the constant. So that's why I will use the m. So what do I get? I get alpha squared by minus 8m. 4 into 2 minus 8m minus 6. 3 to the 6. Here I have alpha, 2 to the 4, minus minus plus 6, and I have 1, 3 is a 9, here minus 8m. On calculating these, we get this one. So let's simplify even more. We will have alpha squared by minus 8m minus 6, here we will have alpha by 10, and here we have 1 by 9 minus 8m. I will use this. Find the value of m. Let's see how. So from here, what do we get? Therefore, by equating these two, I can find the value of alpha. So see, therefore alpha by 10 will be equal to 1 by 9 minus 8m. So implies alpha will be 10 by 9 minus 8m. Also, I can equate this one and this one. So let me equate these two. I will get alpha squared by minus m minus 6, and here I will get 1 by 9 minus 8m. So alpha square will be equal to minus 8m minus 6 by 9 minus 8m. In place of alpha, I can write this value. Let me take it as number 3. So I will use number 3 and put the value of alpha here. So okay, let me erase this part. So what do I have? Alpha is 10 by 9 minus 8m. So it will be 10 by 9 minus 8m whole squared is equal to minus 8m minus 6 by 9 minus 8m. It will be 10 squared is 100, and it will be 9 minus 8m whole squared. Here it will be minus 8m minus 6 by 9 minus 8m. So here we have 9 minus 8m squared, and here we have 9 minus 8m. So this 9 minus 8m and one of the 9 minus 8m will be cancelled. So square cancels with this. let me continue on this side. So after this we will go here. What do I get? I will have 100 by 9 minus 8m is equal to minus 8m minus 6. Now I will do a side change. I will get 100 equal to 9 minus 8m into minus 8m minus 6. What do I get? 100 equal to 8 9 is 72m. There is a minus, so it will be minus. Then we have minus 54. We have plus 64m square, and we have plus 48m. Okay. So now let us move on. So we will have 64m square. Then we have 48m and 72m, but 48 is plus, this is minus, so it will be minus 24m. If I side change this, there is minus 54 and minus 100, so it will be minus 154 equal to 0. This is the equation that I have. I will take only 2 will be common here, so it will be 32m square minus 12m minus 77 equal to 0. So it is 32m square. For 12 I have to do one middle term factorization. So it will be 56 minus 44. You can check it out. 56 minus 56 into 44 is also equal to 32 into 77. So by cross multiplying, by middle term factorization, 42m square minus 56m plus 44m minus 77 equal to 0. So here we can take 8 as common. So 8m will be common. It is 4m square minus 7. Here I can take 11 common, so it will be 4m minus 7 equal to 0. This will be 4m minus 7 into 8m plus 11 equal to 0. I can have the two values of m from here. Let me erase this part. So what I have here, either 4m minus 7 will be equal to 0, which implies m will be equal to 7 by 4, or we will have 8m plus 11 equal to 0, implies m will be equal to minus 11 by 8. Either this or this, these are the squared conditions. So this, if m is equal to 7 by 4 or m equal to minus 11 by 8, then only these two equations can have a common root. So that is how you solve this type of equation. You take one common root, suppose alpha or a or b, anything, take one common root and then try to solve for this value. And if there is no such value, then try to find the value of the common root alpha. Okay, so that is how we solve for these type of questions. Now let us move on to question number 2, 5-2, and let's see how to do that one. With question number 2, we have, under what condition one root of ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 will be n times the other. So suppose if one root is alpha, the other root will be n times of alpha, that is n alpha. So here, how do we start? For the solution, let alpha be one root, therefore the other root will be n times of alpha, that is n alpha. From the question itself, one root will be n times the other. So if one is alpha, other is n alpha. Now we will follow the sum of the roots and product of the roots and find out the condition. So now sum of roots will be equal to minus b by a. What are the sum of the roots? Roots are alpha and n alpha. So it is alpha plus n alpha is equal to minus b by a. Here if I take alpha common, 1 plus n is equal to minus b by a. Okay, I can find out alpha from here. Alpha will be minus b by a into 1 plus n. This is one of the equations. Also product of the roots I can find. So product of the roots will be equal to c by a. What is the product? N. One root is alpha, the other root is n alpha is equal to c by a. So it will be n alpha squared is equal to c by a. Here I found the value of alpha. I can put this value here. So it will be n into this whole thing squared. That is minus b by a into 1 plus n squared is equal to c by a. So from where did I get? So from 1. I used 1. Okay. Now what we will do, we will square this. It will be n into minus b square is b square. It will be a square, and this will be 1 plus n whole square equal to c by a. So what happens here? This a and this square will be cancelled. We will have sorry, nb square by a into 1 plus n whole square is equal to c. We can have n into 1 plus n whole square is equal to ac by b square. For this one we can also write as, this can be written as n plus 1 whole square by n is equal to b square by ac. This is the required simple sum. Just take the roots. One is alpha or a or b or whatever is your choice. Just don't type that it should not match with the constant. Whatever root you take should not match with the constant. Alpha is the most common one, so you can take alpha. So alpha is one of the roots. Other root is n into alpha. By the sum of the roots, find the value of alpha. Put that value of alpha in product of roots, and you can find the required condition. This is our required condition.
So question number 3, 5 and 6 are of the same type as 1 and 2. So if you understand 1 and 2, which I have explained, you can do question number 3, 5 and 6. So let us move to question number 4 and we will do question number 7. So let us try question number 4 and see how to solve it. So moving on to question number 4, what it asks is, under what condition the roots of ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 will be in the ratio m is to n. So the ratio of the roots is m is to n. So what to do in this case? We will assume the roots. So let the roots be m alpha and n alpha. If you remember how we used to solve during algebraic equations, if the roots, if something was given in the ratio of m is to n or a is to b, we used to take the numbers as a is to what the fuck am I talking about? So these are the two roots which we have taken from the ratio. Since it is m is to n, so we can take as m alpha and n alpha as the two roots. Now we will do again the same thing as question number 2. We will take now sum of the roots. So sum of roots will be equal to minus b by a. So it will be m alpha plus n alpha equal to minus b by a. So it will be alpha common, m plus n is equal to minus b by a. From here you can find alpha as minus b into a into m plus n. Similarly, we can have product of roots. So product of roots will be c by a, and we can put the value. This one will be taken as number 1, just like number 2. Just the difference is here the ratio is given. Everything else is like question number 2. So what we will do, product of roots is m alpha into n alpha is equal to c by a. So m n alpha squared is equal to c by a. So alpha's value I know from here. So it is m n into minus b by a into m plus n whole square is equal to c by a. Okay. So now we have mn, and here I have b squared by a squared m plus n whole square is equal to c by a. So again the same thing, this a and this a square will be cancelled, and we can have mn into b square by a into m plus n whole square is equal to c, and by side changing we can have mn by m plus n whole square is equal to ac by b square, which can be written as, by reciprocal, it will be m plus n whole square by mn is equal to b square by ac, which is the required condition. So that's how we solve. Everything is just like question 5.2. It is in 5.4 we will have the same type. Just we have to, this step is only different. Remaining everything is same as question number 2. Now let's move on to question number 7, the last of question number 5.
In this question we have the sum of the roots of x square minus mx plus n equal to 0 is k times their difference. So sum of the roots is k times the difference of the roots. So let's see what we do. Let us take alpha and beta as the two roots. So let alpha and beta be the roots of the equation. If alpha and beta are the roots, then we must have now the sum of the roots, that is alpha plus beta, must be equal to minus b by a. So minus, what is b? Here b is minus m and a is nothing but 1. So we have alpha plus beta is equal to m. Also, product of the roots, that is alpha into beta, is equal to c by a. What is c? We have n. What is a? Nothing but 1. So we have alpha beta equal to. Using these two, what I need to do? I need to find a difference as well. According to the question, the sum of the roots is k times the difference of the roots. So difference means alpha minus beta. So let's see how to find out alpha minus beta. We know one of the formula of algebra, that is alpha minus beta whole square will be equal to alpha plus beta whole square minus 4 alpha beta. I hope this formula is known to you, all of you. So alpha minus beta I have to find. So alpha minus beta whole square. Alpha plus beta is m. So it is m square minus 4 into alpha beta, that is n. That is 4n. Therefore alpha minus beta is equal to root over m square minus 4n. This is alpha minus beta. Now we will have according to the question. What does the question say? Question says that sum of the roots, that is alpha plus beta, is equal to k times the difference, that is alpha minus beta. Sum of the roots is k times the difference. So what is alpha plus beta? Alpha plus beta is m, is equal to k into this one, root over m square minus 4n. So what we can do is we can do squaring both sides. So if we do squaring both sides, we can have this. We will have m square is equal to k square into m square minus 4n. This root and this square will cancel out and k will become k squared. So what I have here, m square is equal to k square m square minus k square n. We can side change this, so we will have m square minus k square m square is equal to minus k square into n. If I continue on this side, we have m square and I can take 1 minus k square is equal to minus k square into n. What I can write is m square. If I change this into, if I take minus common from here, it will become k square will become positive and 1 will become negative, and I have minus k square into n. So this minus and this minus will cancel out and we will have m square into k square minus 1 equal to k square n, which is the required condition. That's how you solve. Here it was asked about sum and difference. So that is the reason why I had to find these two values, because these two will help me in finding the difference alpha minus beta, because generally we don't have a formula for difference of roots. We know for sum of roots, we know for product of roots. So you will use whatever we know, alpha plus beta and alpha beta. These two we know how to find out. Using these two values we will find out the alpha minus beta. And once we get alpha minus beta, it becomes very easy, because they have already mentioned that the difference, that is this one, the sum, that is alpha plus beta, is equal to k times the difference. And then we can solve a general algebraic equation and we can get the required condition. If you want to complete the proof up to here, means the required condition you want to complete here, that is also correct. If you want to come up to here, that is also correct. So that's all about this video. In the next video, we will move to the next part of the exercise. This is question number 6 and onwards. So until the next video, stay tuned and cheers.